Fighting the Flying Circus, Chapter 22, The Arrival of the Spads. Welcome to an in-depth exploration of Chapter 22 from Fighting the Flying Circus, the memoirs of Colonel Eddie Rickenbacker, America's preeminent flying ace of World War I. In this chapter, Rickenbacker recounts a pivotal moment in aerial warfare, the arrival of the Spad 13 fighters to his squadron. This transition marked a significant evolution in combat aviation tactics and technology during the Great War. Join us as we delve into the technical intricacies, strategic maneuvers, and personal experiences that defined this critical period in aviation history. The long-awaited arrival of the Spads. By August 8, 1918, the 94th Aero Squadron, known as the Hat in the Ring Gang, was finally equipped with the formidable Spad 13 fighters. For months, pilots had contended with the Newport 28, an aircraft that, despite its agility, was plagued by structural weaknesses, particularly in the lower wing fabric during high-speed dives. The Newport's limited capacity for critical maneuvers forced pilots to avoid aggressive tactics, thereby compromising tactical positions against enemy aircraft. The introduction of the Spad 13, powered by the 220-horsepower Hispano-Suiza 8B engine, provided a significant enhancement in performance. With a top speed of approximately 135 miles per hour and a robust airframe capable of withstanding the stresses of combat maneuvers, the Spad 13 allowed pilots to exploit vertical tactics, such as high-speed dives and climbs. This shift not only increased combat effectiveness, but also bolstered pilot confidence, a crucial factor in aerial engagements against seasoned adversaries. The strategic shift to the Vesle River. In July 1918, Allied forces successfully executed the Aisne-Marne offensive, pushing German troops back from the Château-Thierry salient, a bulge in the front lines that extended perilously close to Paris. By early August, the front had shifted approximately 20 miles north to the Vesle River, stretching directly from Soissons to Reims. This rapid advance necessitated a corresponding relocation of air support assets. The 94th Aero Squadron's aerodrome at Tukin was now situated over 50 miles from the front, a prohibitive distance for effective air patrols given the aircraft's limited operational range and the necessity for ready response times. To mitigate this, the squadron established an advance refueling point at the former Richthofen Aerodrome in Coincy, merely 8 miles south of the German front lines. This allowed for extended patrol durations and quicker deployment over critical sectors, enhancing air superiority efforts during a decisive phase of the ground offensive. Preparing for the August 8th mission. On the afternoon of August 8th, Captain Rickenbacker received urgent orders to escort 2 French Samson 2A2 reconnaissance aircraft tasked with photographing key German positions across the lines. Recognizing the strategic importance of up-to-date intelligence for upcoming operations, Rickenbacker swiftly mobilized all available pilots, totaling 11 Spad 30s, for the mission. Despite personal adversity, Rickenbacker was suffering from severe otitis media, a middle ear infection causing significant pain, especially under the changing atmospheric pressures of flight. He resolved to lead the mission personally. Understanding that any absence might lead to his removal from active duty, he chose to persevere, demonstrating the relentless commitment expected of squadron leaders. Coordination with the French crews was meticulous. Emphasis was placed on formation integrity and protective tactics. The Spads were arranged to shield the reconnaissance planes from potential attacks, with explicit instructions to maintain positions and prioritize the safety of the photographic mission over individual engagements. Crossing enemy lines and the ambush begins. As the formation ascended to 3,000 feet over Coincy and proceeded towards the enemy lines, Rickenbacker observed a group of 5 German Fokker D-7s near Soissons. Notably, the Fokker D-7, armed with twin LMG 0815 Spandau machine guns and boasting exceptional climb rates and maneuverability, was considered one of the finest fighter aircraft of the war. The German pilots, adept in aerial tactics, attempted to exploit the sun, a classic method to obscure their approach. By positioning themselves westward, they used the glare to mask their movements, intending to surprise the Allied formation. Rickenbacker, acutely aware of such maneuvers, adjusted his own altitude to counteract their strategy, all while maintaining the pretense of ignorance to avoid provoking an early attack. The mission's success hinged on the completion of the photographic runs over Veilly-sur-Aisne, necessitating a delicate balance between defensive readiness and operational focus. The first engagement with the Fokkers. The Germans initiated their attack as the Allied formation began its second circuit over Veilly, with 3 Fokker D-Sèvres diving aggressively towards the vulnerable French reconnaissance planes. Rickenbacker noted the audacity and skill of these pilots, who, despite being outnumbered, executed a bold offensive to disrupt the mission. One Fokker pilot performed a renversement, a sophisticated maneuver involving a half-roll and pull-through, allowing rapid reversal of direction, to position himself advantageously against the French aircraft. Rickenbacker, anticipating this, positioned his Spad to intercept. He executed a climbing turn, aligning his sight with the Fokker's dive path. Utilizing the Spad 13's robust synchronization gear and twin Vickers machine guns, he fired a sustained burst of approximately 100 rounds of .303 British ammunition with a muzzle velocity of around 2,450 feet per second. The ballistic trajectory of his tracers indicated successful hits. The Fokker, likely suffering critical damage to structural components and control surfaces, fell away from the fight. The absence of fire suggested fuel system integrity remained, but control loss was evident. Simultaneously, Lieutenant Reed Chambers engaged another Fokker. Demonstrating exceptional airmanship, Chambers maneuvered into the enemy's blind spot below and behind, a position often referred to as the 6 o'clock low. Exploiting this advantage, he delivered a precise burst leading to the Fokker spiraling out of control. These engagements underscore the importance of tactical positioning, fire discipline, and understanding of enemy aircraft capabilities in aerial combat. Chambers' victory and the aftermath. Lieutenant Chambers' adept handling of his Spad 13 highlighted the efficacy of coordinated teamwork and individual skill. By neutralizing one of the most immediate threats, he contributed significantly to the mission's overall success. Despite the victories, the situation remained perilous. Rickenbacker found himself momentarily vulnerable due to engine stall, a risk inherent in steep climb maneuvers exceeding the critical angle of attack. Recovery required a nose-down attitude to regain sufficient airflow for engine restart, complicated by the gnome monosoupape engine's sensitivity to fuel mixture adjustments at varying altitudes. Upon successful restart, Rickenbacker reassessed the aerial landscape. The remaining Fokkers had withdrawn, and the formation was able to return to Coincy without further confrontation. The French reconnaissance planes had successfully completed their photographic runs, capturing essential intelligence for the upcoming operations. The challenges of confirmation. Attempting to secure official confirmation for the downed Fokkers proved challenging. The fluidity of the front lines, with Allied forces advancing rapidly in the wake of the German retreat, meant that ground verification, typically provided by frontline troops observing crashes, was often unattainable. Rickenbacker's experience was emblematic of the broader difficulties faced by aviators seeking recognition for aerial victories. The stringent confirmation protocols required corroborating evidence, such as witness reports or physical wreckage, a prudent measure to maintain credibility, but a hindrance in the chaos of active offensives. Reflecting on the engagements, Rickenbacker expressed respect for the German pilots' courage and skill, acknowledging the shared risks inherent in aerial warfare and the professionalism exhibited by adversaries on both sides. The August 10th mission briefing. 2 days later, on August 10th, the 94th Aero Squadron received imperative orders to establish an aerial barrier over a wooded area northwest of Fère-en-Tardenois, an area alarmingly close to enemy lines, approximately 2 miles from German trenches. The operation's objective was to prevent German reconnaissance from detecting Allied preparations for a significant offensive push towards Fismes. Observations confirmed large-scale movements of Allied troops and materiel into the woods, employing camouflage and deception techniques to mask the buildup. The squadron's role was critical. By maintaining air superiority over the area, they would deny the Germans vital intelligence that could compromise the entire operation. Escorting the photographers over Fismes. Concurrent with the aerial blockade, Lieutenant Titus of the 1st Aero Squadron requested additional support for a high-priority photographic reconnaissance mission over FISMS and its northern approaches. Given the imminent offensive, up-to-date imagery of enemy deployments and fortifications was indispensable. Rickenbacker selected 5 experienced pilots for the mission, emphasizing the importance of formation discipline and adherence to prearranged signals. The Samson 2A2, equipped with advanced photographic equipment capable of capturing detailed images from significant altitudes, was both valuable and vulnerable. Protecting these assets was paramount. The team departed at 17:30 hours, ascending to an operational altitude that balanced visibility and protection from ground-based anti-aircraft artillery, the dreaded Archie. As they approached FISMS, the complexities of the mission became evident. The complex dogfight unfolds. Upon reaching the target area, the Allied formation was engaged by multiple groups of Fokker D-7s. The German pilots employed sophisticated tactics, attempting to divide the formation and exploit numerical superiority. Rickenbacker observed the imminent danger, a dual-pronged attack aiming to encircle the Allied planes. Initiating the predetermined signal, a sharp turn ahead of the formation, he directed his pilots to disengage and prioritize the safety of the reconnaissance aircraft. Trusting his pilots to execute the maneuver, Rickenbacker confronted the approaching Fokkers head-on, leveraging altitude and the element of surprise to disrupt their attack. Unbeknownst to him, a French squadron of Spad 30s was concurrently engaging another group of Fokkers in the vicinity. The resulting air battle became a complex tapestry of friend and foe, with over 20 aircraft engaged across multiple altitudes and vectors. In the ensuing chaos, Rickenbacker scored a critical hit on an enemy aircraft, utilizing deflection shooting techniques to account for relative motion, a testament to his marksmanship and understanding of aerial gunnery principles. However, the convoluted airspace posed significant risks, including potential friendly fire incidents and mid-air collisions. Near misses and lessons learned. Following the engagement, Rickenbacker made a crucial self-assessment. Despite the successful defense of the reconnaissance mission, he recognized lapses in situational awareness, a critical skill in air combat where threats can materialize from any direction. Inspection of his Spad revealed 3 bullet holes, tangible reminders of the dangers of complacency. In accordance with a personal tradition, he encircled each hole and marked them with a Maltese cross, serving both as a memento and a visual prompt to remain ever vigilant. This experience reinforced key principles of air combat: continuous scanning of the skies, strict adherence to engagement protocols, and the importance of teamwork. Rickenbacker's introspection exemplifies the professional development of aviators who survived the attrition of World War I aerial warfare, a theater where the average lifespan of a pilot at the front was alarmingly brief, often measured in weeks. Chapter 22 of Fighting the Flying Circus provides a profound insight into the evolution of air combat during World War I. The arrival of the Spad 13 not only shifted the technical capabilities of Allied pilots, but also marked a turning point in the air war's dynamics. The accounts of August 8th and 10th, 1918, highlight the interplay of technological advancement, human skill, and the ever-present strategies of deception and surprise. They also underscore the mutual respect between adversaries who, despite the conflict, recognize the courage and proficiency required to take to the skies. Eddie Rickenbacker's experiences resonate beyond their historical context, offering lessons on leadership, vigilance, and adaptability. For modern audiences and aviation enthusiasts, his memoir serves as a primary source document, enriching our understanding of aerial warfare's heritage and the foundational tactics that continue to influence air combat doctrine today. Courage is doing what you are afraid to do. There can be no courage unless you are scared. Eddie Rickenbacker.